So speaking of Ford, now on to the Ford Ranger episode. Let's talk about this. Marie, do you want to present what we're talking about for the Ford Ranger today?
Yes, you were talking about, I'm not sure which engine, but you said it's maybe the future?
Yeah, let's talk about the Ford Ranger's future and where the 2.7 liter engine went. You clearly forgot. You're like, what are we missing? Well, yeah, we're missing the 2.7 liter. We're also missing multiple trims, and I've got a little bit of information on that. So if you're a Tacoma guy, you're, a Chevy or a Colorado guy, maybe this is how you're going to feel in this part of the episode. You're going to feel like, well, what's coming up from behind? Well, it's a Ford freaking Ranger. That's Ford freaking Ranger time. I'm not going to swear, but I do like that word at times. So let's head over to the Ford Ranger and talk some Ford Ranger info. So Ford Ranger, mid-size truck, relatively affordable. Marine Vet, thank you very much for the support. Relatively affordable. I like these prices. And of course, whether you like these prices or not has a lot to do with your social, economic position. But I think these make a lot of sense. I think they can be excellent work trucks. Now, if you're looking for an XL because you want it to be an excellent work truck, just keep in mind it might take a little longer to get if you're at a dealership that has had a lot of XL orders coming in, because it's going to be roughly 6% of the build. And if you really want it to be affordable and you're going to keep it really long term, don't be shy, get a 4x2. $32,565 before, the $21.95 of transport and delivery. Folks, that's a great price. But if you're thinking resale, you're like me, you like to trade, you're like her, you're tired of me trading. Maybe your partner's tired of you trading. Well, if that's the case, get a 4x2. You'll keep it longer because your trade value won't be nearly as good. But if you want good trade value, spend extra money for the 4x4. And I find it's nice. You're spending roughly, you're going from $32,565 to, let's zoom in on that, $32,565. You take it 4x4. 36,210. That is the cost of your 4x4. You're going to get it all back when it comes to trade-in. Now the 2.7 liter, folks, I'll get right to the juicy stuff. The 2.7 liter, we can find out, I've got the news from this, but you can also find it out on the website here by playing around. Let's click right here, XLT. You can't get a 2.7 liter V6, my choice of engine on the XL. I like to go fast. I like that pedal to the metal action. The 2.7 liter is an incredible engine. Now the 2.3 liter is a very good engine with the 10 speed, very good, very smooth, good acceleration. This is all American pricing, by the way, folks. Canadian pricing, not out yet on the build and price. But you head over to the XL, you can't have your 2.7 liter. So you go to the XLT, but before jumping in, let's look at view details, and we're gonna get a little bit of information right here, right at the bottom. 2.7 liter engine available late fall 2023 for the 2024 Ranger. I won't even be surprised if that ends up maybe even getting pushed and we end up seeing it right at the very beginning of the 2024 model. Why would a business ever do this? Well, a few reasons. First of all, it might be that new Ranger. Maybe they're waiting for the new remodeled 2.7 liter engine. If we go back to the Ford Mustang, I'm going to be bringing out some videos on one last video on the Ford Mustang, our 2022 GT we sold. And guess what, folks? I've had a lot of Mustangs. I've had one pretty much every year since 2011. Pretty much always new or near new. My 2015 and my 2017 GT had a 2016 2.3 liter because I had to try it out pretty fast. Very enjoyable. Love the low end torque. But the 2015 and 2017, I always found the sound, it was just missing a little. And I can tell you, the updated 5 liter GT as of 2018, a whole lot better. Sounded a lot better, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot.
You loved the sound of the 2018.
Yeah, it was good, but the 2022 was better.
So
but yeah, the 2018 was a great sound.
Yeah, 2018, that 5 liter same 5 liter, on paper, 5 liter, Coyote, same name. The internals changed. You went to dual injection, so port injection and direct injection, so more fuel being burnt, more power, better or long-term reliability. They worked some magic on the inside of the engine. Low end torque felt better. The sound felt a whole lot better. Incredible sound. Now the Ranger, all Fords, the Ford 2.7 liters, we're getting a new 2.7 liter V6 twin turbo engine. We're getting a new one. So same name, same block, but there's going to be some modifications done to it. And knowing Ford, those are going to be some really nice modifications. So is Ford Ranger, are they waiting to introduce the 2.7 liter until we get the new engine? Well, that is going to be a byproduct. Is it their full reasoning? Maybe. And maybe there's more going on. Who knows? Because I know if I bought an XLT right now with a 2.3 liter, I'd probably be tempted to switch for a 24 and get my 2.7 liter. So I think some people, there'll be a percentage of people that will switch and get a 2.7 liter as a 2024 or a 2025. Because the 2.3 liter, great, really good, reliable engine. But the 2.7 liter is just going to punch it up. Personally, I'd build and price this thing. I'd build mine with a 2.7 liter. You can't order it right now. So if you go into the dealership, all you can do is order a 2.3 liter and code it, priority code 99, so that you're in line and you're always following the line, but you won't get built. And if everyone who ordered before you gets their Ranger and then the 2.7 liter is available, well, what's really cool is you're at the top of the line. As soon as you get coded 10 to 19, you're going to get built. You're going to be next in line. So very cool. Now, I also saw in the comments section, good on you to mention that tremor. The tremor's gone. So other things that the Ford Ranger is missing. The Ford Ranger, Lily, that's my finger. You do not need to eat it. It is not a piece of steak. So the Podals had steak tonight, and they've been a little wild and high energy since, but that's what steak will do for you. Beef is good, folks. I eat steak. Tonight was steak night. I'm going to eat steak for the rest of the week. And steak makes you strong, healthy, smart, keeps you tiptoe and top shape. And they're not going to take my steaks away from me.
Again.
I'm telling you, I'm ready. I'm ready to get serious if they ever try to take my steaks away and force feed me, insects. So here we go. Carbon taxing on individuals. I think that will be very unethical. Packages and options deleted, folks, for the Ford Ranger. Tremor off-road package. Gone. Black appearance package. Good looking, but gone. Splash package. Gone. Splash package jungle edition. Gone. FX2 package. Also gone. STX special edition package. Very gone. XL chrome appearance package. Gone with the Wind and bed utility package. All these things are gone, folks. If you are wondering what does come standard with the vehicle, that's a lot of gone, but there's also some very good intel I've got to share with you. All Ford Rangers are going to come standard with, not all XLT are going to come standard with the Sport package. So that's very cool. That's a huge value. And if ever you're on the build and price and you want to check out what comes standard, well, the best option is your order guide, which Ford Ranger 6G has shared with everyone. It's proprietary information, but it's out on the internet. You can always use that. But the website is actually pretty good for this as well. You click XL, and this is where you don't want to get fooled. Always start from the bottom and move your way up. Because if you start from the top, let's say we go over to the Lariat. If you start from the Lariat, okay, Ford's saying make tracks and leave your mark. Well, you're at it when it comes to style with the 2024 Ford Ranger Lariat, loaded with new optional tech for your trailering needs and the comfort to go the distance. Your truck bed alone Your truck bed alone levels up your off-road game with LED bed lighting. So you think, I need to get the Lariat to get the LED bed lighting. 400 watts in the bed outlet and more. Okay, well, I think I need to buy a Lariat. I want lights in the bed. I want the 400 watt in the bed. And then it goes on to talk about, rear sliding window, FX4 package. So you're thinking, and the sport appearance package comes standard on Lariat. Oh boy. I like sport. I want my truck to look sporty. I better go buy a Lariat. And all that hard-earned money, which is harder to come by, it's harder to, how much you get paid versus what it buys. We're not, a husband isn't able to provide for his entire family, pay for the house, pay for 2 cars, and send the kids to college all by himself anymore. So, yeah. I care about how we spend our money. So don't be fooled, folks. You don't need to get the Lariat. You can always start from the bottom, because let's say we went over to XLT and started our build. Get this back centered. I'm not sure how that even is possible that I can do this with the screen, but yes, there are some very nice colors. If you want the green, you're going to have to go on the Raptor. Play around with the colors, check it out, practice, just to show you a little practice run on what a Ford Ranger build and price looks like. Play around with the colors, find out if the trim you like has the colors you like, because often XL will have less colors. Don't, before doing research, don't just get mad at Ford and say, oh, Ford's being crooked doing this. This is how all the manufacturers work. The base Toyota Tacoma some years only had 3 or 4 colors, and generally that's just generally how it goes. So
That's not a lot.
That's not a lot. So standard 2.3 liter. We can't have the 2.7 liter. Put your order in, ask to have it coded 99 so it doesn't get built when the 2.7 liter is going to be available in fall. Add it on and then have your Ranger show up as a late 2023 model. So that would mean late fall if you want the 2.7 liter. But fantastic base styling. Honestly, I'd even be tempted. V6 2.7 liter, almost Raptor-like power. Change the muffler, you'll get more Raptor-like sound. Put on bigger tires with a 2-inch lift. Save all sorts of money. You don't have to get the Raptor, but the Raptor will always have really cool, blow your socks off styling. Wherever you go, you're gonna get noticed. The Raptor is awesome. The 3-liter V6 is an awesome engine. Now I've driven the 3-liter V6 in the Explorer ST. It's mind-blowing. And the Lincoln Aviator, much bigger, heavier vehicles, mind-blowingly good. The 2.7 liter, I've also driven the 2.7 liter, and super powerful, super enjoyable, and it's going to be awesome in the Ranger. I'm going to answer a question in just a moment that popped up. Why don't you talk about your 2.7 liter Bronco experiences so that people can know, because no one can try. Don't be fooled. A lot of people are going to get fooled because they're going to say, well, I can't order a truck that I've never driven before. Drive the current Ranger, and if you think it's good, you're going to love this. If you think the current Ranger is great, you're going to think this is the best vehicle. This is the best thing since sliced bread, because this will drive better. It's got more, it's wider. It's got more wheelbase, wider, longer. The suspension in the back is better than it was. It's not just, leaf spring now. You've got shocks in the back. This thing is going to drive better. It's going to be more comfortable. It's going to ride better over the bumps, but it's also going to handle the bendies better because it's wider and longer. So better base makes overall a better vehicle, and the bigger, wider, longer base is gonna, for the suspension in the back being able to take bumps better because they're shocks and not just leaf springs. We're gonna have a fantastic vehicle, folks. So try out the current Ranger. If you like it, great news. This is gonna be a good amount better. Now the 2.7 liter, why don't you share your experiences with that, if you don't mind?
It's so powerful. You don't have any trouble with that engine. The only trouble now that you have is you need to be careful of the speed you go, because it goes quickly. And the first thing you know, you have passed the speed limit authorized. So yeah, no issues with that engine at all. It's so fun to drive.
Now, for this Ranger, if you want, sort of what we could call more like an all-wheel drive system, you're not going to get it on the XLT. That is a real reason to get the Lariat, because here it's part-time 4x4, meaning you'll have a dial to switch between 2x4, 4x4. So 2 high, 4x4 high, or 4x4 low. If you want the 4 automatic, the 4A, similar to an all-wheel drive system, you're going to have to go with the Lariat. Same thing with the Ford F-150s. Now, check out the base the base standard equipment on this. It's fantastically equipped. So order guide or read the details like I showed you before. You can click details anywhere. When you're on the build and price right here, you can click on the little E. So I'll show you what that looks like. Click on the little E dot here, right there. It's a little I, sorry, not an E. I was thinking French. The I that's there, information. So click on that and you'll get the details. So XLT standard discount. They want to be selling those. Ford isn't trying to push you up into extra equipment. However, something you might want to consider if you want heated seats is to go with the high package. If you want heated seats, you will have to go with a high package. Folks, that's just the way it is. Now, all these exterior options and accessories, don't order them up from the factory if you're in a hurry to get your build, because they most likely truly will slow things down for you. So splash guards, don't put them on your order. Pick up balk extender, bed liner, paint protection film. Do not take them from the factory. These have been horribly backlogged from time to time. You know, the BRONCO paint protection film causing major delays. Get them done at when the vehicle comes in. So order your vehicle as base as you can. Don't add on the accessories. If you want heated seats, of course, take a high package. I don't expect that to cause any issues whatsoever. But when you do get it, I would add paint protection. A paint protection film is fantastic, and it's going to work a lot better than a ceramic coating. A ceramic coating is about avoiding scratches when you're cleaning the vehicle, because you can probably pretty much always just pressure a wash 95% of the dirt and it'll look clean enough that you don't actually have to do a contact wash. So do a ceramic coating on your vehicle if you want to be able to do contactless washes. So that's going to save you when it comes to scratches, because we don't realize it, but often we have a little stone, a little bit of sand in the mitt, we wash it all over, and if it's a darker color, you're going to see lines everywhere, folks. But it's not going to protect against stone chips. If you want to be protected against stone chips, you need to do a paint protection film. Every city has got people, businesses doing great jobs with the paint protection film. In our area, you cannot paint protect a windshield because it won't get through the winter. I've asked our local paint protection film person, and he looked into it and he said, I can't do that for you. So unfortunately. So I hope that answers. We had that question pop up a couple minutes ago, so hopefully that answers that quite well. So if I were to order a Ranger, my money is on an XLT. I want a Raptor. And if I'm thinking resale, you get a new model that just came out. A lot of people will try to avoid it. But new models, often when you're one of the first to put them for sale, often resale is really, really good. And resale on a Raptor, if you can actually get your hands on one, I suspect resale early on, not 4 years down the road, but if you buy it and you want to sell it within 8 months, a year and a half later, a Raptor could be a great build. And for resale value, I probably would jump on a Raptor if I was buying a Ranger. So let's check that out. If the system here can cooperate. These touchscreen laptops here that I'm working off of, can't get back to the models, but if I'm gonna short-term own a Ranger, incredible resale is gonna be on this Raptor. I would take it this green right here. That'd be my choice. That is my exact build. And what's cool, you take a Raptor, you don't have to add a whole lot. It comes incredibly equipped. And that's what I'd jump on right there. Dual exhaust in the back, just looking awesome. How do you feel about this, Marie?
With that color and the double exhaust, it really looks like a beast in the army. Especially the color.
You'd let me have it?
I know it's your kind of car. Yeah, I will let you have it, but not now. You need to wait a little. You have too much cars.
Hey, I'm down to just the Lightning and the Toyota MR2. And of course, you have your Maverick, but I'm doing very good at 3.
But you're supposed to have a Bronco on the way too, so you need to calm down.
Lightning resale value. So what can I say? Lightning resale value at the moment isn't doing great, and the whole used market is going down now. So I did predict a little while ago, I'm thinking that as 2023 progresses, we might see up to 10 to 20% drop on those inflated used car prices. And on the new market, well, right now, Ford has already done some either very good interest rates or very nice rebates. The big drop in price from Ford, it's done, I think, for the year. I think ideally, I'd say buy a Ford. If you're looking at buying a Ford, buy a Ford right now because you're going to have the most for your trade. You're not going to, we've just lost a little bit, but you're going to avoid what I think is going to be a 10 to 20% reduction in values. But you're getting the prices on the Ford, your new Ford, you're getting that price. That's going to be very similar to what you're going to pay, 4 or 5 months down the road, but once you've lost 10 to 20% on your trade. So that's my big trick to save thousands for the evening. I don't know why I seem to hide them, my big tips to save thousands. I always hide them in the middle of a very long live, so I really appreciate the watchers and viewers and subscribers and members that make it through the whole live. Thank you very much, folks. But there's my piece of advice. Now, for a Ranger that I would keep long term, I wouldn't be afraid to modify. I wouldn't want to modify an XLT and then sell it. You're not going to get your money back. You look at people that are now currently selling their Bronco, they're separately selling all those mods they put on their Bronco because they'll never get the full price of their Bronco plus their mods. They're at a loss if they sell the Bronco with the mods. So they have to try to sell all their mods, put back all their original equipment, and hope they actually sell their mods. Well, I've got an F-150 Ford Raptor exhaust, which is worth about $3,000, sitting in the garage, and I can't sell it for $1,500. It's got like 10,000 kilometers on it. I can't sell it for half the price without taxes, because in reality, the exhaust system I'm trying to sell is $4,000 with taxes. I'm asking $1,500. There's no taxes on it because it's used, and I can't sell it. It's less than half the price. Lily, I really appreciate the kisses, but now. So, modify your vehicle at your own risk. I would modify a Ranger if I was going to keep it for a good while. So, putting on a lift kit, putting on the bigger tires, spending money on an exhaust, spending money to make it look more like a Ford Raptor, but coming in at less money is fine if you're going to keep your Ranger 5 years or more. But if you're going to keep it 1 or 2 years, and you want the best, you don't want to lose out when it comes to resale, buy the model that you want out of the box. The model that you're attracted to, that you go, wow, that's the one I want, buy that. Or buy the one you can afford, but don't buy the one that you can afford and then put 10, 20 grand in mods on it because you're not going to get that money back, folks. So that covers my Ranger talk for tonight.
Yeah, we have 2 questions
Fantastic.
about the Ranger. So the first one, it was GM Genoa asking, are they discounting the 2023 Ranger yet?
Discounting it.
Yeah.
Good luck finding one. Good luck finding one. Well, because right now it's not discounted when it comes to interest rate. Interest rate is very normal on it. It's in the 7 to 8 percentile. The market's just about at the average new vehicle interest rate is almost 9%. So it's just a little bit underneath that average. But for Ford, it's higher than, the F-150. It's higher than many other models. And cash rebate on it right now? No. There's a really nice cash rebate if you're in the market for a Ford Escape, Ford Edge, Ford F-150. So you can always check that out when you're on the Build and Price website. So let's say I want to find out, hey, does a 2024 Ford Ranger have a rebate? Well, it doesn't have a rebate because there aren't any available. And when something's not available, good luck finding a rebate. So you look here and it would tell you right here, you look, I added 0 base MSRP, $55,365. Options, 0. Accessories, 0. Destination charges, $1,595. Earlier on in the show, I said $2,195. I was speaking Canadianese. Sorry, I was speaking in loonbacks. Speaking the almighty buck. Sorry, these are all animals that we have on our money. I don't know why we don't have one for an owl, because I think from recollection, we have money with an owl on it. I don't carry money, but anyways. Estimated selling price 56,960. So the rebate would be there. If there was a rebate, you'd see it right in that list. So that's when you can find out, hey, can I afford this monthly payment? Well, you can 36 months, 72 month, and hey, honey, a Ranger is 875 American. It's going to be about $1,000 Canadian plus tax. So it's 1150 roughly Canadian for a Ranger. It's less than the Lightning. Maybe you'll say yes.
750? No, I will stay with my Maverick.
You have a tummy ache. What if I rub your belly and rub your shoulders, rub your feet? Maybe you'll say yes to the Ranger. You already
not sure.
You said yes to
we'll take more.
You said yes to Mustang replacement, so hopefully 2016 Shelby GT350.
Because you replaced it by a Mustang. It's easy.
In the chat, folks, please comment whether you think what's a better idea. Mustang GT350, a Shelby Mustang GT350, or a Ford Ranger Raptor. They work out to the same monthly payment. So please, in the comments, say what you'd rather see on this channel. We should have done a poll. If I will
go with the logic, I will say the Ranger. You know what I always said: the Ranger, you can drive it in the winter, in the summer. The Mustang, it's only summertime, so it costs more because you don't use it all year long for the same price. That's my biggest point.
Fair.
And I know I always win with that one.
But we've got a garage, and how amazing does our garage look with a Mustang in it? Now imagine a red and black striped Shelby Mustang in the garage all winter long. You don't have to
convince me. I said yes for that one. But you need to wait to have a Ranger too. It will be too much cars.
Yeah. And Bronco still remains my all-time favorite amongst all these options. I now am collecting two poodles. I collect them like I collect them like I collect cars. But unfortunately, who knew a wild track soft top with 2.7 liter, of course, Sasquatch. It's a wild track. Who knew it would come in quickly? I expected 8 to 12 months. And even if it came in after, 7, 8, it'd be fine. But I ordered that in what must have been, I think it was very end of March or early April. Yeah, it was March 30th, and it's scheduled to be built in June. So the Lightning just dropped too much. Whereas if I order a Ranger Raptor, a Ranger Raptor, truly, that thing would probably almost certainly come in about 10 months.
And we have a last question, because you were speaking about the color just before.
Yes.
And you say that doesn't have that much of color, it's more neutral, so white, gray, and black. So Outsider Reviews was asking, is it better to get your car wrapped or paint if you want to switch the color?
Oh, if you want to switch the color, yeah.
It costs a lot to paint.
I looked into it for them, R2. Great question. In my region, I don't have anyone doing wraps at a low cost. And sometimes the low cost also means, really poor quality. You don't want a poorly wrapped vehicle.
That doesn't stick in the corners.
Or wrap was basically the same price. And then I'd ask myself, is it going to be a future collectible, or is it already an antique or a collector's car? If it's a collector's car or an antique, you always want to be on that original paint if possible. So the MR2, I want to be on the original paint. So I hoped in having a section of it repainted, it would still look like it's original paint, because that type of vehicle back in the day was painted where the paint and primer were all in one. There's no clear coat on the vehicle, so it makes it a little harder to see that if it's original paint or not. So I kept the original color. So if you have a collectible, wrap it. Keep your original paint underneath. If you buy a Porsche, don't change the color of a Porsche. Wrap it. If it has any rust on it whatsoever, you don't want to just wrap up that rust and stop looking at it, because one day when the wrap comes off, the rust is going to be more. So in most cases, I'd say I'm more wrap. Unless it's an older vehicle that's not going to be collectible, has a little bit of rust on it, then you definitely want to go with the repaint, because the price, a pretty good paint job is going to be, let's say a full vehicle, 5,000 Canadian. Well, a really good wrap job would have been about $3,500, $4,000. But the problem is, an amazing paint job the price is endless depending on what type of damage is already on the vehicle, but a really amazing world-class paint job on a body that's pretty much already perfect could very well spend 8,000 Canadian. So a wrap can save you money and is definitely the right choice for, I think Broncos one day will be collectible. It might take a while, but they'll be collectible one day. So a Bronco would be something that I would have wrapped instead of repainted if I want to change the color.